So farmers walk fundamentals for speed. Let's have a look at some. Farmers fundamentals speed. Let's have a look at what's going on. So this is the England's under 80s from this year. And let's have a look at some of the techniques. Farmers fundamentals speed. Let's have a look at the England under 80s from this year. So this was very much a speed event for most of the athletes, and it was 3 turns around 12 meters or so. So around 40 meters total with 100 kilos each hand. So for most of the athletes, this wasn't a grip challenge, so to speak. This was more about speed. So you can see, I think I came second overall in this event, and I'll just talk about some of the tactics that I used to help me maximize the speed on this. So a thing that I really focused on the farmers walks here were like I knew that grip wasn't going to be a problem. Tommy was great. Tommy came first overall, so you can see that couple of things that we did in common. So short sharp steps. Generally the pickup towards the front of the handle. You see, like quite a lot of the guys here. You see Rich and one of the twins. You can see that the hands are towards the front of the handles. I take it to an extreme here, and I put my hands right to the front of the handles. If I know that my grip isn't going to be a problem whatsoever, I'll put my hands right to the front, and this just simply makes it easier to pick. It's quicker to pick up because you kind of lever the weight up. You can see that Lewis is doing that here. And the pickup's just so quick. It just brings that front end up quick. The limitation is that it can get the front and back end swinging a little bit, but generally the pickup's really quick, and it allows you to open up the stride a little bit quicker because you're the stride a little bit longer because your hands are almost creating, because your hands are a little bit further forward on the handle. Like I found when I often go fast on farmers with my hands in the middle, sometimes when I open up my stride, I can catch the heel on the back of the farmers. Whereas putting your hands right, like towards the front, providing that grip isn't an issue, is just going to allow you to that little bit more space to follow through with a bigger step. And the advantage is that you may be a little bit shorter at the front, but you can see that how far you're stepping with that front foot in your peripheral vision. So in terms of tripping up, you can actually see in your peripheral vision like how close you are to that to clip in the front of the handle. So to reiterate, another advantage is levering the weight up from the front. So the pickups are generally really, really quick. And another advantage that I would say, if you watch the video again, in terms of stance, is I definitely recommend a staggered stance pickup when you're going for speed. I can see why some people may struggle with this when they're going for maximal weights, but with the staggered stance, you'll find that as soon as you break the weight off the floor, then you're already into you're catching yourself falling forward, and you're into your first step, rather than people who take the pickup with the feet together, stand up, and then take the first step out. The guys that are starting with the split stance are just seemingly getting that little bit of a head start. Another little thing that you'll be able to see if you watch the video again is the fact that I'm trying consciously not to fully lock out, because I'm staying low to the ground and keeping the farmers stay low to the ground. So as soon as I feel the farmers break off the floor, I'm stepping into my next and keeping them low, and I'm not fully locking out. So I'm saving that little bit of time that's spent fully extending. Yeah, because I don't need to fully extend. I don't need to find a position that's really, really efficient for my strength, because it's really not a strength issue. It's literally how fast I can go with the weights. So another thing that you need to be careful of and watch when you're adding a turn in is the fact that you don't want to be too aggressive with how you put the farmers down, because you want to be in a position where you can pick them up, turn around and pick them up again with them close together. So you see some people who make the error of they go really fast to the other side, they bash it down, but then like say one farmer's has gone in front of the other, and then they're having to collect and you're just offsetting the benefit of actually going fast by being reckless with it. So try and decelerate towards the end a little bit and keep the farmers close together, so you can ensure a really quick turn. Another little point on the turn to maximize the speed would be a quick turnaround by not standing up. You see a lot of people who are going really, really quickly. They'll put the farmers down, then they'll stand up, turn around, and then they'll go back down again. Whereas you watch people who are really quick, a thing that I consciously try and teach people is put the farmers down and then turn around while you're still kind of in this flex position, and you'll just be quicker than standing up and then going back down again. Another little tip would be, you see a lot of people dropping the hips like they would on a deadlift, and then as they drop the hips, lifting the weight off the floor. But again, raising and dropping your hips is going to slow you down a little bit. So providing that you're strong enough with the pickup, we're assuming that you are, if you're going to use this technique, then actually just like dipping and ripping, and basically just put bending down to pick up the handles and just picking up straight away, rather than raising your hips and dropping down again. Another thing that I focus on when I'm going for speed is actually the hand position of the pickup. The hand position of the pickup, I'll actually hold the weight lower in my fingers rather than being in my palm, and it'll be a little bit less secure. But like I've established, the grip strength isn't an issue there. So this centimeter or so is going to make the pickup feel significantly easier and quicker for me, and I'll be able to start with my chest a little bit higher, which in turn makes the pickup feel easier and quicker. And also neurologically, those first few steps, the weight just simply feels lighter in my hands, so it's easier to get into a stride.